Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Buy Local TV. I'm Frank Krawicki, and I'm in the pool today, just hanging out, keeping cool on this nice warm summer day, while Dwayne is up in Alpena on a glass bottom boat tour in the Thunder Bay area, and he's checking out some shipwrecks.
My name is Jeff Gray. I'm the superintendent of the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary located in Alpena, Michigan on the shores of Lake Huron. The sanctuary is a marine protected area, or a national park in the water. It's designated to protect the Great Lakes and their rich history. There are over 200 historic shipwrecks in and around this area, and the sanctuary works through research and education and resource protection to make sure that these beautiful resources are around for future generations. Northeast Michigan has so much to offer people. There's incredible state parks, incredible beaches, incredible communities up and down the shoreline, and a brand new glass bottom boat that's in town that can take up to 120 people out for a couple-hour tour to see the shipwreck, see some of our lighthouses, and really experience Lake Huron at its finest.
My name is Captain Paul LeBruck. I am a 100-ton master captain, and we're on our way to the Scanlon barge. It's a gravel dredging barge. It's in about 17 feet of water, and we're going to go find its bits and pieces of parts that are scattered along the shoreline over here and view them in the glass bottom. The boat's brand new. It was basically built for Alpena. Well, with the fresh water the Great Lakes have to offer, it really preserves the wrecks. There's shipwrecks that have been down here for over 150 years, and the wood is still there. All the machinery that was on these boats is so well preserved in the fresh water, rather than in the ocean. With the salt water, the salt will eat the shipwrecks away, and you'll never see them. Thunder Bay is very unique the way it's set up geologically. There's rocky reefs everywhere. Back in the day, you could look out here in the 1800s and see hundreds of ships out here in our bay, doing all kinds of trading. Alpena has the most shipwrecks that are concentrated in one area than anywhere in the world. And they also say there's over 9,000 ships out here that have never been found yet. So we're glad NOAA is here and trying to find these wrecks and preserve them for all people in the future. The glass bottom boat's very unique because for people that don't dive or don't want to get into the cold water to snorkel these shallower wrecks, we're able to provide you a inside look at it without getting wet. I was telling you about a boat called the Florida. The Florida is in about 180 feet of water, and you could open up the drawers in the cabins and find jewelry and silverware in the galley and stuff like that. And as a diver, it's very unique to be able to open up them drawers and see that kind of stuff. And before NOAA came here, a lot of this stuff got removed. But it's nice to leave things. That way everybody gets to see it. Yeah, we have a website at alpenashipwrecktours.com, or you can get to us through the Maritime Center, through NOAA's Maritime Center in Alpena.
Wow, Dwayne, that's a great way of checking out some of the shipwrecks in the Great Lakes without getting wet. But speaking of getting wet, we've talked with Talking Scuba in the past about scuba diving in some of our Great Lakes. This time we're going to kind of go into the smaller lakes and check out some of the scuba diving in some of the inland lakes in Michigan.
Welcome back, Talking Scuba guys. We got Johnny here and we got Bob, and these guys go around primarily Michigan. I know they have done some diving outside of Michigan. Now, you've talked a little bit about how cool it is with the fresh water, with the shipwrecks and the straits, that they're preserved because of what we have. Let's bring it inland.
Sure, we do. really close to your place here, we have a Baptist Lake, which is a really nice lake. We've got a couple of the local dive shops have actually put some boats down there. So there's old speed boats, pontoon boats. So a lot of people go there to do their training dives. But the visibility is usually pretty good, around 20 to 30 feet. In the early fall, you can get freshwater jellyfish, which is pretty unique. Most people don't even know they exist. So for the opportunity to dive with those and check those out, it's really a pretty neat dive. But there's other lakes. You like Gull Lake, don't you?
I like Gull Lake. The visibility is usually pretty good all the way through.
And what brings you to Gull Lake? I mean, what else is there? I mean, besides the visibility.
Well, when the fish are spawning, they're all over the place, so it's really easy to get capture that wildlife.
Can you give us a couple really quick safety tips for inland diving?
Well, you just want to make sure all of your equipment is up to date. That you're not diving with something you pulled out of the barn and it hasn't been used in a couple of years. Go to your local dive shop, get your equipment serviced, and then make sure that your training's up to date. Just because your certification card lasts a lifetime, but what you really need to do, go in and continue your education.
And there's a lot of dive shops in Michigan and around the area. You can look them up on the internet. Get somebody that's close to you, go in, talk to them, get to know them, and keep that certification up so that you come back alive, so to speak. I mean, and that you continue to go out and enjoy this sport. So we're gonna have these guys back on future episodes. So keep checking in, and thank you for joining us today. And we'll talk to you later.
That's some pretty impressive scuba diving. I think I'm going to stick with this pool. But anyway, Dwayne continues to work hard out in the field, and he just caught up with a singer-songwriter, Don Middlebrook, and his style of music is very unique. It's called trop rock. Let's check that out.
Hi, my name is Don Middlebrook. I'm from East Lansing, Michigan. I travel all around the country playing trop rock music. I'm from the proud state of Michigan, but you can find me in Key West. You can find me on the East Coast. My mother gave me a guitar when I was 16. She had a fear that I would get in trouble since I was starting to lose my interest in sports. Basically, she thought I might start meeting girls.
I've been had and I have lied. Oh, no, where I shouldn't have been. Rock me like only you can rock me. I feel forgiven.
She helped me meet girls, matter of fact, by getting me a guitar, little did she know. However, I really did take to it, loved it. It was something that brought in some of my creative sides, as well as I'm kind of a mathematic kind of guy and a history guy, and between lyrics and how music's built mathematically, everything seemed to make sense with the kind of person I was and the desires I had. And back then, you could play guitar and change the world, and we never really did, but we sure thought we could, and that was a great dream to come out of, and it's now 35 years later, I'm still doing it.
I'm Chris Corey, and I play keyboards, including left-hand bass with Don. I've been playing with Don for 10 years now. But when I came back to Michigan, I got a hold of Don Middlebrook, and he said, "Oh, I got a lot of gigs, and I do this, Jimmy Buffett thing, and a lot of Caribbean soul." And he asked me if I knew any Jimmy Buffett songs, and I said, "Well, yeah, I know almost all of them, because I'd already been doing that out in Phoenix, and it worked out just right. We meshed really well."
So I'm kind of one of the early recipients of this new genre called trop rock, and I'm proud to do it. And I tell you what, it's a metaphoric way of going through life and describing all the things that we have in other uses of lyrics, but it's kind of a nice soft way to go through it. Keeps you warm in the wintertime, and it gets you out of the cold weather and into warm weather, even if it means nothing more than turning on the CD.
He is frozen. Years on, and his world has sure turned upside down.
I'm Hank Bauer, and I play harmonica with Don. And what I do for Don is I try to carry as much equipment as I can and show up on time. When I met Don, it was actually 23 years ago, and we didn't start off on a great note. Fingers Taylor was his harmonica player at the time, who was Jimmy Buffett's harmonica player, and he was playing with Don, and he was unavoidably detained by some authority figures in some part of the state of Michigan. So I got the call to fill in for Fingers, which was only going to be for a couple weeks, and here we are 10 years later. So I'm still filling in until Fingers isn't unavoidably detained anymore.
You know, writing was one of the first things that hit me as a musician. I wrote probably quicker than I learned a song. I really feel like my range vocally is not real wide. I couldn't sing everybody else's stuff, so I had to make my own waves.
Beans or a dozen Krispy Kremes. Caviar, honey, this is turtle span green. Coffee beneath and sugar and glue, yeah. I will pay for gum. I will pay
But I'm
for
still
gum.
70% songwriter whenever we go out on tour. And I'm proud of that. I don't think a lot of players have that opportunity, and something I embraced from the beginning, which led us to this spot.
We usually learn a song on the gig. He'll come up with something, something he's been working on. He often writes, I think, when he's traveling down south to Florida and stuff. And he'll come back with some new songs, and he'll start playing them, and I'll just kind of fiddle around and figure them out. And we'll get it together, and we'll practice it on the gig a lot of the time.
And sometimes you get the best stuff that way. Most of the time, hopefully, you get the best stuff. Sometimes it's a little work, but yeah, we go in, and he's written a bunch of songs. He's always writing songs. Pure inspiration, getting together and hanging out, and that's really that style of music anyway. It's not real technical. It's more about feel anyway. So really, that it tends to come out the best that way.
Park right around the island, take a boat ride to Sunset Key. You know how much I love you regardless of that kind of tree. I hop out with the locals, dance to the setting sun. Gonna park right around the island.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's Buy Local TV. And as we continue to search this great state for great events, businesses, communities, and people to promote, we would love to hear from you. Check out our new website and email us with some great ideas. We would love to help promote you, your business, or organization. And I'm going to continue enjoying this pool because, hey, it's summer, it's Michigan, and I love staying cool. And sorry, Dwayne, you couldn't join me here. Instead, you're out there working hard, and I'm going to go back to my pool. Oh! Welcome to this week's Buy Local TV. Hold on. Unlike our friend Dwayne, who's up in Alpena, but Dwayne Weed, he's out working hard. He's up in Alpena. Wow, Dwayne, that's a great way of checking out the chip. Wow, that trop rock is some pretty cool stuff. I personally haven't heard much of it, but if you're a Jimmy Buffett fan, and I know there's a lot of you out there, you'll love Don Middlebrook's music.